Hi, this is Peter Propp, and welcome back to another episode of 10 Minute Strategy. We are here with Rajat Paharia. He is the founder and chief product officer of a really interesting company called Bunchball. And Rajat is going to talk to us about games, game mechanics, and how it has an impact on business strategy, marketing strategy, and how some of the smartest companies in the world are taking advantage of game mechanics. So Rajat, how was that for an intro? Did I cover what Bunchball is about?
That was great. I think you should be our marketing and PR team.
Excellent. Well, that's what I'm looking for. Let's just talk for a little bit about Bunchball. Why don't you give us an example of what you are? You really provide a lot of the tools for people that want to be in this space.
Yeah, so game designers have known for years how to incent and motivate player behavior, and they do it by using things like points, levels, virtual goods, badges, high score tables, real-time feedback. We provide all that as a set of services that can be integrated into any kind of site or service, community, content, campaign in order to influence user behavior and drive participation, engagement, and loyalty. So I used to work for this company called IDEO, product design company, and one of my favorite quotes out of there was innovation equals invention plus opportunity. So we took the existing invention of game mechanics and applied it to the opportunity of taking them outside of the gaming world, anywhere where there are people to be motivated, and turning it into a web service so that any site owner could really quickly integrate them and get the benefit.
Excellent. And you guys started, 6 years ago?
Yeah, I actually started the company in 2005 as a social gaming company. So back in 2005, I left IDEO and identified this need, this really weird thing that was happening online, which is in the real world, people play games with their friends and family, but online, people were playing by themselves or with random strangers.
Right.
And playing with your friends and family was really hard. And so started the company as a social gaming company back then, but that market was really going nowhere in 2005, 2006, even early 2007. But as part of building that whole social gaming product, we realized the power of game mechanics and that we could take them outside of the gaming world. So in 2007, we started with the first version of our Nitro platform, our game mechanics platform, and our first customer, which was NBC, on a community site for fans of the TV show The Office.
Oh, excellent. And so can you describe some of the elements that are in the platform? Give us two
Sure.
or three examples.
Yeah, so points, people love points. They love to earn them, to achieve them. They can be indicators of status and seniority in the community. There have been studies done, IBM Research, University of Chicago, about the dramatic effect that points can have on user behavior, even if there's no monetary value associated with them. So we've got all these various game components integrated into the platform. And if you look at what our technology platform is, it's really three things. It's a set of APIs that are completely cross-platform for tracking user behavior and then pulling out generated data and metrics like high score tables and use feeds and point balances. It's a set of widgets that provide some rich pieces of functionality like an avatar builder or a virtual room or a trophy case. And then it's an admin console that makes it really easy for the business owner to control everything, with the whole goal being how do you get the engineers in doing their work, get out, and then after that you put all the control in the hands of the business owner to influence user behavior live and in real time on your website or in your app.
Great. And so from an engagement point of view with your customers, I assume some of them have pretty sophisticated development teams, and for them, you just hand over the API and some instructions, and they figure out how to do it. And then for others, you are more hands-on.
That's exactly right. I mean, the customers span the entire spectrum, from ones that we gave a demo to, and they're like, great, give us access to the APIs, and then we don't hear from, and they build amazing stuff: websites, desktop apps, mobile apps,
Wow.
even set-top box stuff. And then others who are basically like, look, we just have these core business objectives we need done. We need more people watching video and reading articles and looking at photos. Can you just kind of do it for us? And those guys we do. We can help those guys as well. So we can provide kind of anywhere along the spectrum.
Excellent. So take us through. We've got about 5 minutes to go. Take us through sort of where all this game mechanics stuff came from. I mean, I assume when you were started out in the gaming world, you might have been someone that did Dungeons and Dragons or some online stuff, and then I know there's some arrogance and aggravation between the quote true gamers and this online marketing and business objective oriented stuff. But take us through, if you could, sort of what's been happening.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, there's probably kind of two different origin tracks for this stuff. One is traditional games, where you've got the core game experience, and then layered on top of that, and what they call a metagame, was these extra components, these motivation components like points and badges and high score tables. So things that are outside the game, but that use data from the game. And then on the other side, there's probably the traditional loyalty industry, right? All the way back to S&H green stamps and collecting these things that you could then redeem for stuff. So that whole industry has been using game mechanics as well. Just not a whole lot of them, and not particularly well, but things like points and levels are clear to anybody who's ever been part of a frequent flyer program.
Sure.
And so both of these things have been around for years, and really it was just kind of what was the next step? And so in the gaming world, we saw the whole social gaming movement explode in late 2007 and probably early 2008. And those guys made heavy use of game mechanics. The Mafia Wars and the vampires and werewolves, and all the way up to kind of Farmville and Cityville now. And then what we're seeing is loyalty programs are also evolving and starting to add a lot more game mechanics. And then you're seeing things like Foursquare kind of come out of the blue, which are combining loyalty, geolocation, game mechanics, city discovery, and hitting a mass market audience, which is really kind of escalating the power of game mechanics into the consciousness.
Right. And so from your business point of view, you had this one sort of start, trying to get some traction on your own as a social gaming platform, and then you took your pieces and sort of productized them to some degree and tried to go after sort of what Zynga does. Was that your plan, or how did that sort of come about?
Sure, yeah. So the whole social gaming thing, in 2005, 2006, we were out there trying to sell that platform to the MySpaces and the High Fives and the Facebooks, and nobody was buying. Nobody really believed that gaming was like the killer app on social networks. It was really interesting.
Right.
And so then in early 2007, we switched the company over to being a platform company and providing this game mechanics, and so completely focused on this being like a B2B company. In the meantime, we were still doing some gaming stuff. We were actually the gaming launch partner for the Facebook F8 platform. And for a while, we tried to play in both camps, but then realized, you know what, with a 12-person company, we have to pick one.
Sure.
And we really believed the game mechanics was it, that there is no company out there that deals with people that can't use game mechanics to drive business value. Thought there was a huge opportunity.
Excellent. And so when Foursquare came about, that was really when the light bulb came up in terms of a mass audience for what you guys are offering?
Yeah, exactly. I think that was kind of the first major application of game mechanics outside of the gaming world to drive behavior. And so it was huge. I mean, for years, 2007, 2008, 2009, we'd been evangelizing and educating and trying to create a market. But it wasn't until effectively social games and Foursquare kind of exploded that the market did get created. And so now it's great. Now we're in a very good position, but it took a long time.
Right. Okay, we've got about a minute left to go. Why don't we just talk real quick about, what's the smallest contract you've got going right now? What's the biggest? Just so people have an idea of the scope of what you guys are into.
Yeah, sure. So we work with small startups, including IMO Media, IMHO Media, and others, even a nonprofit called Hope Lab in Redwood City. And they're doing really cool stuff. IMO Media's got a media player with a virtual currency system built in, and Hope Lab is built a device called the Zamzi, which tweens wear, and it combats tween obesity by incenting and rewarding them for their activity in the real world.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah, it's pretty cool. You should check it out, hopelab.org. And so that's on the lower end, the small end of the scale. And then on the big customer side, we have companies like NBC Universal that are using us across multiple properties, including USA Network and Bravo and Access Hollywood and Sci-Fi, Telemundo, Universal Pictures, and so, major media companies as well.
Excellent. All right. Can you stick around? I'd like to do a part 2 with you, and we'll do some more discussion of some of the more interesting examples, if you don't mind.
Sure, I'd be happy to.
Okay, great. So we're going to end this one. This is Peter Propp. His name is Rajat Paharia. If you want to learn more about Bunchball, go visit bunchball.com and come back to 10 Minute Strategy. We'll have part 2 of our interview. Thanks, Rajat.
Thank you.